and welcome to the channel. For this video I'm going to be taking you on a guided walking tour of the Ocean City Boardwalk located in Ocean City, New Jersey. Now a quick disclaimer before I jump into this. This footage is about 1 year old now. I filmed this in 2024 and I'm a little slow editing this video. And you're going to quickly notice that one of the landmark attractions here in Ocean City is still open in this video. You're going to see Gillian's Wonderland Pier at the end of the video, and that attraction has been closed and shuttered for a while, and all the rides have since been removed. You know, I do my best to edit and upload these videos as quickly as I can, but I often have a backlog, and you know, this is a weird example of the attractions have already changed since I've had a chance to film them. Now, if you haven't seen my channel before, I'm someone who grew up on the Jersey Shore. I spent almost all my summers at Seaside Heights and Wildwood and Point Pleasant and just about every boardwalk out there. But I had never made it to Ocean City before, which is kind of weird. Considering both my parents are from New Jersey, I'm surprised I never made it here. And the pier here at Ocean City just makes a very good first impression for me. I was really impressed. I had no idea it was as big as it was. I mean, this boardwalk is about 2.5 miles long. It's one of the longest ones that I can think of. Now, when I was filming this video, there were 2 amusement parks open at the time. There was Gillian's Wonderland Pier, which was basically all the way at the end of the boardwalk. The other amusement park that's located here is Playland's Castaway Cove, and that's roughly dead center in the boardwalk. I guess it's doing better because of the superior location, and that's the one that's still open to this day. Now, the Ocean City Boardwalk has a very long history. The initial temporary boardwalk was originally constructed back in 1880, and then they built the first permanent promenade, and that was constructed in 1910. Now, the present day 2.5 mile long boardwalk was actually completed in 1928. That's pretty amazing to me. You know, the fact that this place has history as an attraction going back to the 1800s. You know, the current boardwalk is nearly 100 years old now. I mean, that's pretty epic. So how does Ocean City compare to other seaside boardwalks like Wildwood and Seaside Heights and Coney Island? It's definitely different. This one is clearly dialed in for family audiences. Almost all the rides are kiddie at Castaway Cove. They do have one large roller coaster, but it's not that great. I actually preferred the Wild Waves coaster, which is kind of like their junior coaster. I mean, don't get me wrong, Castaway Cove is an amazing small amusement park. Very, very charming, actually. Very clean and modern, and all the rides are well maintained. I actually think that's what contributed to the demise of Gillian's Wonderland is, you know, Castaway Cove was just so much more meticulous and new, and the rides at Wonderland Pier were just kind of older and more forlorn, and, you know, that last season you're going to see it was kind of sad looking. So I know they were going through a financial hardship ever since COVID-19, so I probably saw them kind of like on their death spiral, and that's really my only experience with Gillian's Wonderland. Can't really comment to what it was like before like 2019. It probably was amazing because they had a long history. I mean, the Wonderland Pier was open for something like 90 years. But if you're looking for like the really big roller coasters and extreme thrill rides, that's not really here at Ocean City. You're gonna be better off like going to one of the Maury's piers. That's where they have like full-size roller coasters, and even Seaside Heights has a better roller coaster than Ocean City. I just wasn't a fan of the roller coaster, which is called Gale Force. The restraints are just painful and I'm an average build. I mean, I'm like 5'9", 150 pounds. I'm not particularly large. I'm not particularly small, and it was just uncomfortable restraints. You know, the ride cycle wasn't that great. I was much happier with the smaller Wild Waves roller coaster that's kind of built into the side of Gale Force. You know, if you can only ride one of those coasters, then I think Wild Waves is the better experience. Now, Ocean City has 2 arcades that are standalone. There's also like a third arcade at Castaway Cove, but obviously the dedicated arcades are bigger and probably better. They've got the Hollywood arcade as well as Gillies arcade, and they're both really good arcades. I think the prizes might be just a hair better at Hollywood, but they have more machines and better arcade games at Gillies, so it's kind of a coin toss which one is the overall better arcade. I mean, as I said, there's a smaller arcade at the Castaway Cove amusement park as well, so that's an option too. Now, in the distance on my left-hand side, you can actually see Playland's Castaway Cove now. That big structure in the middle is the drop tower, and obviously all the way toward my extreme left is the Ferris wheel, and that structure kind of towards the middle of the screen, that's with the blue track, that's Gale Force. Like I said, I mean, Gale Force is, I guess, what you would consider like a full-size coaster. I just don't think it's a great ride experience, and the other two roller coasters in the park, even though they're kiddie coasters, were just more pleasant. I mean, the other two rides were just lap bar rides, and it was the restraints that I hated on Gale Force. So if they had more comfortable restraints, I might have enjoyed that ride a lot more. This is a probably good time to mention that there's some really fun mini golf courses here on the boardwalk. You know, back at the 2-minute mark, I think maybe 2 minutes 30 seconds of this video, I passed a big pirate ship, and that was one of the mini golf courses, and really enjoyed that particular course. It was well themed and very challenging course. There's quite a few good mini golf courses here, so if you're a real big, I guess, connoisseur of mini golfing, Ocean City definitely has a lot of good offerings for something like that. So one place where I think Ocean City has the clear advantage is if you're coming to the Jersey Shore to go swimming, I think they have the most picturesque and scenic beach out of all the different seaside areas. I do think Seaside Heights as well as Wildwood have the clear advantage for having the better arcades as well as like the amusement rides. But I've never really had good experiences at the beach at Wildwood, and Seaside Heights is kind of a mixed bag. If you're planning to swim for the entire day on the Jersey Shore, I'd definitely recommend Ocean City over the other two. So now I'm going to talk about my favorite subject, which is eating. And I do love the food on the Jersey Shore. Like I had mentioned earlier, this was my first visit to Ocean City, and I clearly made the right decision when I decided to eat dinner at Clancy's by the Sea. The seafood there was just amazing, absolutely amazing. I enjoyed the lobster and the shrimp and the clams, and just everything was dynamite. I mean, one of the best meals I've had in quite a while, and that's the thing that I'm in the mood for when I'm seaside. I want seafood, and that's just kind of my thing. For lunch, I got an amazing hamburger at Brown's restaurant. The prices were pretty reasonable too for New Jersey. I was impressed by it. It was surprisingly affordable, and they got all kinds of cool stuff there. You know, they got salads and sandwiches, and it's more of a lunch place than anything else. But they do have a couple, like, I guess, dinner items too on the menu at Brown's. But I was definitely I just was in the mood for seafood for dinner, so I mean, the food was definitely good enough to actually, revisit and eat at Brown's twice in a day. Brown's restaurant also serves breakfast, too, if you're in the mood. So this is probably a good opportunity to talk about all the drama surrounding Gillian's Wonderland Pier. So the last season where it operated as a full amusement park and arcade was 2024. They announced that it was closing down for good after I was filming, so I would have gone and filmed a lot more of it had I known in advance. At the end of last year, they tore out just about all the amusement rides except the Ferris wheel, the carousel, and the monorail. Those are all still there. Wonderland had been going through a rough patch financially for like the last 5 or 6 years, and right around the COVID lockdown, they were forced to sell to a real estate developer. So the original owner, Gillian, he was leasing the land from that real estate developer for the last 5 or 6 years until it just wasn't financially viable to do so anymore. Now, the real estate developer did reopen the attraction partially in 2025. This year they just operated as an arcade and the pizza parlor. That's basically it. I think the real estate developer was trying to generate goodwill in the community, but it didn't exactly work out. You see, he planned to redevelop this parcel into like a high-rise hotel, and he was going to incorporate the Ferris wheel and the carousel and basically knock down everything else. And local residents just weren't happy with that idea. So they ended up taking a vote on his high-rise hotel plans at an Ocean City City Council meeting back in August 2025, and his idea bombed miserably. The City Council voted against his plan 6-1, so there was no chance that it was ever going to pass, and he got kind of ticked off and now has listed the property for sale. There's now another group of developers trying to acquire the property, and their plan is to incorporate a lot more of the original amusement park into the redevelopment, although they are talking about mixed use as well, but they're talking about a low-rise residential building that's closest to the street. Their plan definitely seems to be more likely to succeed, because if you listen to what the residents were saying at that city council meeting, the overwhelming majority of residents wanted to have Wonderland Pier continue in its current form or as close as possible. I mean, the Gillian's Wonderland has operated here at Ocean City for close to a century. Now, they have had several different locations around this boardwalk over the years. I believe they moved to this particular current location in 1965. So I completely get it. You know, this is one of the landmarks of the city. People feel a lot of nostalgia because it's been here so long. On my right-hand side, I'm walking up to what is known as the Ocean City Music Pier. It's a great little auditorium where you can catch a bunch of different concerts. I was looking at the website, and they are mostly focused on like classic acts, like they had the Beach Boys and like the Mickey Dolans from the Monkees. But they also had a couple contemporary, artists. They had like a sound-alike artist that did like a Taylor Swift tribute concert. You have to understand that there's a lot of retirees on the Jersey Shore. Most of the music's gonna be kind of like from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and a lot of Motown, that kind of stuff. Another attraction that they have here at Ocean City is the Haunted Hotel. That was actually on my left-hand side while I was walking up to this music pier. It's a year-round haunted house, and it's pretty good from what I've heard. I wasn't able to visit it at the time. I was kind of pressed for time the day I was here. But I looked at pictures online, and it does look like a fun little walk-through haunted house. It does remind me quite a bit of the haunted house down in Kissimmee. They have a year-round haunted house called Morton Manor, and I get the same kind of vibes, although I think Morton Manor is a little larger, because you have to understand, everything on the Jersey Shore is usually a little smaller just because the real estate's so expensive up here. Another attraction that I'll talk about here in Ocean City was the OC Water Park. I was born and raised in Florida, and water parks have a tendency to grow on trees down there. But the OC Water Park was really impressive, considering what a small piece of land they were able to squeeze it in. I mean, they had a really nice collection of water slides, and they had a pretty great lazy river. They had a fun slide there called the Splashdown. It's one of those old school slides that kind of ends like 8 feet in the air and just kind of lets gravity take over and throws you into the water. And that facility also has a rock climbing wall as well as mini golf. So it was a great little attraction. I was really impressed. Even though it might be like maybe an acre and a half, they were able to cram a bunch of water slides into a very small area. I think they have probably like 6, maybe 8, maybe 10 different water slides. I mean, it was incredible how many things they were able to cram into that park. So right now on my left-hand side is the food court, and this is kind of a cool little setup. It's a bunch of small vendors. Think of them almost like set up like food trucks, even though they're, permanent buildings. There's probably like 8 or 10 different restaurants like crammed in there. And I tell you, I went in there, had an amazing Taylor ham sandwich, and it was just dynamite. I can't remember which restaurant that was, but just amazing food. All kinds of different things. You can get, the typical soubrette hot dogs here on the Jersey Shore, or an amazing slice of pizza. They even had Chinese food in there. So there's all kinds of different vendors selling various wares. And I'm telling you, the food was amazing, at least the one place that I stopped in. And if you want to get a authentic New Jersey experience, then it's kind of hard to pass up on a really great Taylor ham sandwich. Speaking of food too, if you're looking for dessert, Ocean City's got that covered. There's so many great candy stores here. A great place to get saltwater taffy. There's a bunch of the stores that sell like fresh made on site, like chocolate and fudge. The funnel cakes are so good. Everything is just so fresh and authentic. I mean, there's only one Jersey Shore. This big white building come up on my left hand side, that's Gillian's Wonderland Pier. Like I said, a lot of changes have happened to this location since I filmed it. You'll notice that all the rides that are behind the building are mostly gone now if you go there today. I mean, the Ferris wheel is still standing and the monorail is still intact, but all the other rides have been removed. It's a shame too because they had a really great log flume there. They also had a really cool haunted house. And, a nice collection of flat rides. Playland's Castaway Cove kind of eclipsed them because they're the ones with the big roller coaster, but a lot of these amusement boardwalks, whether you're talking about Wildwood or Seaside Heights, they thrive best when there's like 2 amusement parks, at least in my opinion. A lot of these seaside boardwalks are usually several miles long, so it's kind of convenient to have more than one amusement park located there. And generally, most of these boardwalks, they put the amusement parks on the opposite ends of the pier, and more or less that's how Ocean City is set up. Seaside Heights was kind of like that up until Hurricane Sandy knocking one of the amusement parks into the ocean. And Wildwood kind of has that layout too for the most part. Well, it looks like I've pretty much reached the end of the boardwalk. I just want to thank you for joining me on this walking tour of Ocean City, New Jersey. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.